この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Shenanigans, aka Sora no Woto, aka Sound of the Sky. We're here for episode 7.5, and I don't know what that means. Why are there 0.5 episodes? I don't know this. I haven't gone and looked it up in the interest of like avoiding spoilers, but like were these aired along with the other episodes? Are they like recappy thingies? Or are they like OVAs that were aired later and then just fit in with the positioning of the things? I don't know. What I do know is that this is a full 24-minute episode of Shenanigans, and so we're gonna watch it and see if we like it, and hopefully it'll be good. I really don't know what this is, so apologies if this is like a weird pre-discussion because I really have no idea what to expect here. And because of that lack of understanding of what this thing is, I don't really know what I should expect from it. Because, like, okay, we could go off of what occurred last week and be like, yeah, so last week's episode was very different and very focused on death and war and blood and war and pain and war and death and death and death and ghosts and death and war, which then eventually lead into, like, a pretty wholesome revelation and, like, set of decisions made by Felicia that have to do with core motivations and reasons for being who she is and all that stuff, which is quite important. And that would color what we would expect from the next episode, but I don't know if this is the next episode because it might be an OVA episode that was aired like months later when they actually released the Blu-rays, and so it doesn't make any sense, and we have no clue what to expect here. So, I have two thoughts. One is, if this airs immediately after 7, then it can be anything. If this is instead an OVA thing, then I would expect it to suffer from OVA-itis, and I would expect that it to be exactly what I want right now, because last week's episode was all about murder and death and blood and death and war and death and war and pain and ghosts and war, and then eventually leading into some revelations that occur and give us some core motivations for Felicia and why she is the way that she is. Right? Like, that was last week's episode, and it was a lot. So I'm cool if this one is not so much a lot, and we just go slice of life adventuring and stuff. That said, I don't understand why that's a 0.5 episode, because the whole show is slice of life adventuring and stuff. So why is it a 0.5 episode? The only answer that I can come up with is that it must be an OVA, and if it is an OVA, then it's probably going to be fun, and if it's going to be fun, then we're going to have fun, and that's it. Okay? So this has been the weirdest pre-discussion of Sora no Woto so far. Forgive me for that. I don't know what to expect from this one. Let's just watch it and find out, shall we? Yes, okay, let's do that. Alright, I got 7.5 up and ready to go. It's the Not Elysium subs, as it has been for the last 7 episodes. You should be up on that by now. Let's do it. 2 versions, picture-in-picture version in the description, timer version on YouTube, beep beep timer coming at ya. Let's do it. Let's go. I've had too much caffeine this morning. It's great. It feels lovely. It won't in like an hour, but it feels lovely right now. Timer. Become the metronome. I think Furi Sosogu and the way that the woman sings it is my favorite line of the entire song, or my favorite, like, word. Furi Sosogu. That's just really cool. Okay, lightning flare. Dark, rainy, ghosty. I don't like it. Okay. Secrets. That's Kureha? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sure. We're framing it like this around Kureha. She looks tired. She's got bags under the eyes like me. Those young, innocent lambs who will fall. What? Okay. Hey, CG flags. The Feast, the Fortress at War. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Niku Niku. Mm-hmm. Where'd you get the calvados? Yeah, higher proof. Okay, gotcha. We're not drinking it, though. We're using it for cooking. It burns off. Ah, that's the secret. I don't think letting Kana-chan know is a problem. What the fuck? Oh my god, she's just trying to bar the door. So oblivious. Ah, great. I'll be right there. Please leave. Nope. 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 Totally unsuspicious. That was a great pout. Yeah. Alright, who's directing? This is funny. Somebody on the staff has humor chops. Seriously. This is great. This is great. This is so good. Yes. Nope, 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 nope. Please remove your attention from the previous discussion. That was super cute. What did you do differently? Poison. Did she put apple brandy in it? Stop it. This is amazing. Of course you do. Of course you do. That's the problem. Trickle. All right, what is in the tea, Felicia? Girl, what'd you put in that tea? Nothing, maybe. Right. If I hear about what? All right, I'll leave it to you, Felicia. You got the plan. What's in the tea? All right, now I'm certain there's something wonky there. Hey, step, step. Click, clack. She looks really good in a helmet. Oh, God. Yeah, what? 8 million gods? Well, that's very specific. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think you might regret putting Noelle on the other team for whatever this is. Brilliant. This is wonderful. Fair enough. Sure, let's go. Whoa, that's odd. Gonna write that one down. Oh shit, you gonna supply up? Oh god. Oh god. Is that what I think it is? You are going to regret putting Noelle on the other team, dude. You never let the other team have your engineer. Never. Oh, never mind. Okay. Ha ha ha. Birdie? She got them all wind up with that tea somehow, didn't she? That would be too noticeable in tea, though. It's brandy. You could taste that shit. What's with those strange angles? Those keep happening. Finland? Roma? Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Trouble with being a nomad. Aw, that's actually really sweet. Attack imminent. I'm not going to read into that. I'm just going to choose not to. Uh-oh, you are walking into a fatal funnel, dude. Yeah. Oh, God, it's the hand crank. Belt fed? Or is that a tube? Uh-huh. Ta 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 ta. Y'all should run. Okay, it's tube fed. Uh-oh. Is it on a cart? Is it on a fucking cart? Are we gonna drive it around? Oh my god. Ooh, that's rough. Okay. Uh-oh. That was even rougher than rough, but okay. Nope. Need more plans. Oh, they are all getting the glow, dude. They are all glowing. Otto. Ara ara. Yeah, ooh. Okay, because it was zoomed in so far. Yeah, it's okay, Kureha. Just let them have their drunken revelry. It's... Yes. Rage. Let the rage flow. I'll kill you all. Squirt, squirt. Kureha just broke the wall. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, is Noelle down? Yep. You mean a down. This is so good. Go, lone soldier, go. The secrets await. Clack, click, clack. Gathering of resolve from the memories? God damn it. The truth. The distillery. Aging barrels. For like the last hour and a half that I've been drunk. Cool, we've brought her in. Yep, you've been getting your pay. Indeed. Indeed. Was that a full tempura lobster? That's what it looked like. I stand by my principles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get out of the scene. Wee wee! Wah wah wah! Sure, yep. With a spray of dyed water. Is that Felicia snoring? Or was that Rio snoring? I have no idea. Ah, of course you did. Apparently nobody can tell what alcohol tastes like. Sure. You certainly did. Why? Oh no. Aww. Wow, she is rough. Yes. It's a full bottle of brandy. Oh my god. Wait. Or is she trying to make them all forget? Yeah, no. She was drunk. Yup. She lost her. Yep. Fucking chugging a full cup of brandy. Holy shit. What the fuck? And that owl is super drunk. Glorious. Oh my god. An orgy? No. Nope. Just a complaint fest. Mm-hmm. Nesama, though? Oof. Okay, no comment. Indeed. Really? That's a very valuable and also horrible trait to have. Oh god, karaoke, here we go. Singing the OP, alright. Yep. Anyone who's been a designated driver knows your pain. It's always weird. Oh god, Felicia. Hi! Oh god. I will leave this part out of the record. Yeah. Of course. Right. Bye. And Rio is hungover as fuck. As is Noelle. As is Birdo. Yikes. Beer before liquor, never sicker. Sure. Oh, God. What can I say? I love this episode a lot. That was the most fun episode of Sora no Woto so far, by far. Because it was pure fun, and yeah, wow. I need to know who's on staff. Two storyboarders listed. One of whom is the episode director. Animation director as well. Oh, whoa. Takehiko Kyogoku is the director of Hoseki no Kuni. Okay. And there's no preview, which means to me that this is probably was released after, right? Let me look that up just to look it up. I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page for the list of Sora no Woto episodes and just scroll down until I reach 7.5 and then see if it lists the release date. Episode 7, February 15th. Episode 7.5, June 23rd, OVA. Okay, so it was released a month later. Actually, multiple months later. I can't count months. I'm stupid. Cool, good, solid. That makes a lot of sense then. Great. I'm going to continue investigating staff and stuff. The first thing that I found immediately was that Takehiko Kyogoku, there are two individuals listed as having storyboarded this episode, and one of them is Takehiko Kyogoku, the other one is Tetsuya Watanabe, and Watanabe also directed the episode, but he storyboarded it alongside Kyogoku, who is the director of Hoseki no Kuni, and storyboarded the first two episodes and the fifth episode, and directed the first two episodes and the fifth episode. I actually feel that. I get that. The Hoseki no Kuni isn't a humorous show exactly, but there's humor innate to it, and the humor within it consists of like a particular kind of goofiness being offset by seriousness of other characters. It's like a form of the manzai routine, but built into the entire cast. It's interesting. I'm just thinking about this because I find this episode really fascinating because of how funny I found it. And it is. I think it's really funny. He also unit directed the OP of Sankey's Esho Symphogear Season 1. Okay. And did Mirai no Tomodachi movie of Precure All-Stars. Which film is that? I know I've seen that one. Mirai no Tomodachi. That's the, yeah. Just moved to Yokohama, trouble getting used to the city, finds food. Oh, right. It's the, right. Okay, I remember that film. That's a good film. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. And then director of all of Love Live School Idol Project. Okay. Cool. What about the other guy that he was working with, Tetsuya Watanabe, who storyboarded it and episode directed this one? Akane Maniacs, storyboard and episode direction on The Big O. Episode 5 of Cowboy Bebop, episode 18 of Croissant, Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere, Idolmaster, some other Love Live projects, some Gundam stuff, episode direction, episode 11 of Evangelion, and cinematography on EOE, on End of Eva. What? That's weird. Poco's Udon World, Transformers, White Album 2, Zanki, Zone of the Enders. Interesting. Okay. Nothing that, like, I mean, plenty of stuff that gives information. I just don't know how to tie it together into some kind of a conclusion. And then the animation director for the episode, which is not necessarily a credit that deserves to be put on a pedestal, because I don't think the animation in this episode was stellar, but there are some cool things in it. In between animation on Code Geass, some key animation on Love Live, some stuff on Toradora, Sword Art. Okay, a bunch of little things. Single episodes of animation and key animation and in betweening. Okay. Cool. And of course, the script is still Hiroyuki Yoshino, apparently. Though I don't know if that's necessarily true. Okay. Cool. That covers staff stuff, which wasn't as helpful as I thought it might be, but there are some people on here that make sense. Specifically, Kyogoku. Now, how do I break down how stellar I think this episode is from a comedic standpoint? Because this is an episode that very much doesn't deal with seriousness. There are some slight mentions of some serious things. I think the only one that I really picked up on was in her drunken stupor, Rio goes, "Oh, Neshama, Neshama," and of course that's older sister, right? So she's thinking of Ilya, who we know now is Ilya, right? Yeah. Okay. A framing device of Kureha telling us this story from the past is great and could be a reason for seeing everything in such a kind of a goofy light if we want to take it that way, which I think we can if we want to, but we don't have to. The sort of ominous overtones of this introductory experience are perfectly juxtaposed with what ends up being a rather comedic episode. She's being very serious about this to the point where it's almost melodramatic, but not too far. It's not going too far into it, but it lets us know that whatever she's thinking about is probably kind of silly. The whole like shaded eyes, dramatic shading from the oil lamp that's next to her and stuff. Yeah, all right, cool. And stuff, things, stuff and things, and then we open. Okay, CG flags, open on the thing. We're making, I guess, pork chops? I guess they're pork chops or steaks or something. I don't fucking know. They look real good, though. And they are flambeing their steak while it's still red. I don't quite agree with that in terms of how I would cook a meat, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. It's just we're introducing calvados, and that's what matters. Hello, calvados into the story, and immediately she is freaked out and, oh, please forgive us, infinite gods, and there's our humor starting. Great. We've got a character who is, I don't know, feels like she has a deep moral compulsion to not do this, and that's what we're gonna fix over the course of the episode, kind of. It's a vice we can't drink. And then we're way over the top, way pushy. Yeah, great. We'll get in trouble. And then there's this sequence, and this is where we get even solidly funnier. Rio's twitchy face is good humor. Kanata's ability to hold herself back is good, and then her undeniable curiosity is even better. And then we get a pout from her somewhere. Where do we get that pout? Where's the pout? There it is, right? Wave. Yes. Full pout. Love it. Good things. Okay, doesn't matter. And now we come up with a plan. Boom. We are immediately... So, I mean, the show, sorry for the artifacting, but the show likes doing this. It likes playing with the sort of like semi-Yuri shippability of Felicia and the other characters. Fits that archetype that's a little bit, well, skin shippy, you might say, as the older woman of the bunch. I don't know how to feel about that. It's fine. It's fun. It's very servicey. And then we get my favorite sequence in, I think, the episode, and that is that we switch to this under the table shot. I love this. I love it so much. This is so smart. So everything that we see on screen is just the character's legs exhibiting what they're feeling, and that's really good. It's also not sexualized, which is appreciated, I would say. This is reminiscent. I would say it's not reminiscent of Yamada stuff, but to make the connection is pretty easy, because one of the things that we say is like one of the most indicative elements of Naoki Yamada's directing style is the choice to frame characters differently, so that we don't actually see their faces, their upper torsos, their expressions, and to determine what can be expressed in terms of emotions through the simple body language of a limited portion of a character's body. In this case, essentially below the waist and the legs. Yamada does legs a lot and feet a lot. I don't think that there's anything necessarily fetishistic about that. It's just like she likes doing that and demonstrating emotions through this. So this is great. As soon as we bring up the thing, senpai, the immediate freak out a little bit, the stiffening from Rio, the lean forward from Kanata, and then as she pushes on the topic, they both immediately jump up. It's Kureha next to her, I believe, who starts like tapping her foot nervously, and they're both like fidgeting and kind of freaking out a little bit. Felicia comes over and then eventually sits down and just stop it. This is great. I like this sequence. It tells us the subtext. It tells us the undertext, the things that Kanata is actively being excluded from their conversation, and we get to see how they're actually communicating under the table, right? That's pretty neat and straightforward. Okay, calvados in tea. Suspension of disbelief, sure. I drink tea a lot. I have experimented quite extensively with mixing various liquors and alcohols and other things into tea. It doesn't work very well. You can almost taste it because tea is flavored water. It's leaf water. It's hot leaf juice, as one particular character from Avatar: The Last Airbender might say. But it is. It's hot leaf juice. It doesn't mask alcohol very well, and brandy is not exactly a weak liquor, usually. Even if it were, it's a fairly strong smelling and pungent liqueur. The ability to mix enough apple brandy into a cup of tea to not immediately taste alcohol upon it and yet be strong enough to get a couple of people drunk off a couple of cups of tea? No. But I will suspend my disbelief because it literally doesn't matter. This is just a way for them to get the booze into the girls, and they do. And it's delicious, which is great. Plenty more, so drink all you want. And then we get a couple of hinty moments from Felicia where she's like, haha, would you like some more? Okay, and then pushing, and yep, and I want to support you, please let me share it. I love the little trickle of sweat, and just the continuous buildup of tension between these characters until that smile from Felicia. Okay, I want to talk about something, and it occurs immediately in this next frame right there. It's something that this show does a lot, and I don't like it very much. It's using highly zoomed in frames. I understand why they're doing it. It's a matter of cost saving, as are many things, but really doesn't need to be done this way. There's no need for this zoom out to be here, right? So there's no need for us to start at her. We can just cut to here and have her clap and everyone look up. So it's a little whack to do this, and it I think detracts from the overall feel of quality animation. That's different from the overall quality of the animation, which I also think is relatively low throughout Sora no Woto. That's fine. But I think that zooming in on your not the best in the world line art in order to make like camera motions that you think would be useful from a direction standpoint, but then undermine the quality of your character designs and the way that they are portrayed on camera is kind of fraught, I think. Like, that's kind of ugly and fuzzy. It's just not the way that it should be done. And then I find it a little bit annoying in places like this, but I find it genuinely distasteful when it's on important sequences, regardless of them being comedic. When do they do it? When Felicia and Rio hold hands. Yeah, okay. Here. This is really rough. And I will say that this honestly looks like shit. So we've got really crisp character drawings here. Really crisp version of Felicia. Nice and solid. Really crisp Rio. And then horrifying, blurry goop hands of awfulness because we're zoomed in on them. Because they were drawn this size, right? Like, that's the issue. The issue is that, like, they don't... Okay, here's the actual issue. They want to be able to zoom out from this scene to the next one. If they cut from this scene to the out, then they wouldn't have to do it like this. But they want to do a smooth zoom, and that means either you reanimate it, or you just zoom in on your cell. If you're going to zoom in on your cell, and you're going to be drawing digitally, to some extent, you gotta draw digitally, and you gotta draw it bigger, so that it looks okay. Because that doesn't look okay. That looks like shit for what is meant to be a pivotal, if comedic, emotional moment. It's kind of funky. But that's so mild that I don't really care. It doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to, like, insult the episode by saying this. I'm just a little bit miffed by those little tiny things that could make it better and don't need to be the way that they are. Bleh. Regardless. Yumina in the thing and just being so, like, straightforward and pleased by this whole situation is wonderful. I also think that her, like, purplish hair strand thingies look really good in the helmet. She's really cute. That's all. Yeah. And then Gleams from Noelle. Gleam. Yeah. So, big mistake. Don't give your engineer to the enemy team. They'll help them. They'll help them more than you can imagine. Don't do it. And squirt guns. Okay, this is where things just go from that to being incredibly fun. 8:28 is a time that I wrote down, and I'm not sure why. It's coming up soon. 8:24. Oh, it was this shot of Rio looked oddly crisp to me. I don't know why. Like, it's not the animation of it, it's just the drawing of it. It looks really good, I think. The crispness of the shadow across... It's the way that the light is played with inside her eyes. It's odd, but I think it works pretty well. Also, just the way that they chose to draw the lip part, like right here under the nose, which creates, like, more depth and dimension to her lips and cheek, and shows that this curves in the way that cheeks do, you know? That's kind of cool. I think that's a good drawing, that's all. Okay, boom, onward, and the reveal. Yeah, it's dope. It's also hilarious because it's just like... And yet we make it into, like, the horrifying, gigantic Gatling gun of power, rah! But, I mean, it is pretty fucking awesome. I'm not complaining. Okay, we go for it. Yeah. This is a little gag. I don't know if I like this gag. It's an audio and visual gag, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little like, what do you assume is occurring as she makes this face and hear that trickling noise? Well, okay. And then pan to Bottle and reveal that they have, between them, drunk like 3/4 of a bottle of brandy, which, I mean, 6 people, 2 of them adolescent, 3 of them adolescent, because Noelle. Yeah, I'm sure, I guess they could get pretty tipsy off that. That might make sense. And then this is drawn really well. And then there are these odd angles that keep occurring throughout the episode, like this one, where we're actually inside of Kanata's perspective looking down at Yumina. That's kind of neat. But they're odd angles. They're odd choices of how to shoot things. Intriguing choices. I like the choices made here. quite frankly. Once we pull out from here, the next shot has really, 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 really tiny CG horses. They very clearly didn't want to draw a horse. Horses are hard. I've seen lots of bad anime horses, and this one functions okay. They figured some parts of it out, although that's a little off on the musculature of the leg, because I don't think they understand how horse legs work. Yeah, let me just go find like a horse trotting. Yeah, that's not how horse forelegs bend or how they're muscled, but that's okay. That's just all right. No worries. It's just not how they are. They constructed it like it's a bicep, but that's not how horses. Still, they got some of the like the chest musculature kind of okay. It kind of fucked up the transition into the neck. It doesn't really matter. What matters is they made good choices to avoid having to actually draw a fucking horse. So those are tiny CG horses back there. Guarantee it to you. You can actually see, because they're so far away, you can see them artifacting around the legs. They're like, they're super goofy looking, honestly. Binnenland. Finland? Roma? Rome? There's no way to know, is there? There's no way to know. Yes, I don't know why I've become Sean Connery right now, but, yes. Children playing. She wants friends. Yes. So this is pretty wonderful that we do create a little bit of a subplot for Yumina in here. It inserts a little bit of emotional care to this whole situation, which is that she gets to let go a little bit and have fun a little bit because of something that she views as a vice. That's kind of neat. And it's just neat. It's cool. Okay, this I don't really, this is read intoable. Of course, there's the question in your head of, is this because of reasons, or is this because of small amount of alcohols in the system and feeling all wonky? Probably the alcohols, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of a fan servicey episode. Not in terms of like, here are our characters, booties and butts and boobs and stuff. That's not what I mean by fan service. I mean, like, this is our characters having fun playing around, and part of that is the like mild hints at Yuri shipability around the characters, and I guess we could call it Yuri baiting. It doesn't feel super baity to me. It doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world. And it doesn't feel like there's any implication that there is any relationship. It's just like the authors thought this would be fun, and they're not wrong. But yeah, the whole like she blushes and then, well, wait, I know that we're friends, but physical contact is weird. Touching other people is strange. Although I will admit that there is a comparatively extravagant amount of cleavage in this episode. Does that make sense? Like, Rio is constantly, her shirt is constantly down, and we show off Felicia's assets a few times as well. It doesn't really matter, and I'm not like miffed by that. It's just there. So the Gatling gun of power and Noelle's glee at using it is kind of wonderful. Then again, the sort of like the juxtaposition between how the characters are acting toward their weaponry and how it actually functions is very funny. It actually reminds me in some ways of the battles in Chunibyo, Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions, where we would often have characters like go into their mental realm or whatever and be fighting with giant weapons in like massive escapes with like light flares and flames flying everywhere, and they're like flying around and doing flips and hitting each other with gigantic hammers, and then it immediately cuts back to reality where like Dekamori has her hair braids and she's just like furiously smacking somebody with balls of hair, just this is the same kind of a gag where it's like the characters are taking this really seriously. Let's go, we're gonna kill them. Squirt. It's just goofy, and it's a good gag. Yeah. And Yumina's just pure glee at getting to do this is kind of awesome. Ah. And these sort of angled, like, in motion shots that are kind of faux motion are very fun to me. I like them a lot. And then here's some of the stuff that I'm talking about, like animation whack. Yikes. Actually, I like the way that she stumbles. I don't like any of the rest of the run. It doesn't have weightiness to it, and it demonstrates, like, a lack of understanding of how to draw walk cycles and strides. Like, she's not moving far enough for her leg length at all. It's kind of weird. Weird. Onward. That's better. Onward. That's better because no legs. This one was really bad. Ooh, yeah, they just sort of hop skip to the next step. Wait, what happened there? Look at Rio's feet there. So they both hop skip to the next step. Boom. And then Rio's feet go, her right foot goes down a step, and then she's just down there. And then she's on the same step, but her left foot is now down on the next step. Wait, what? And then her right foot is, wait, what? Huh? It's super wonky because the steps don't actually exist. They're just a flat plane, and they're trying as best as they can to line up an animation with them, and it's not working. It's not working. Okay, similar example of something that's way too zoomed in for no reason. Why? What? Come on. Why is this just zoomed in? Right? Why wasn't it drawn like this size, and the trunk? Because it looks like shit. This is supposed to be a cool scene. Even if they're far away, the human eye doesn't turn people into stick figures. Come on. Come on. See, this is the kind of thing that just strikes me as lazy, because there's no need for us to see them out in this wide. There's just no need. And even if there was, we could zoom and then swap. Like, this happens in Yu Hakusho all the time. They'll zoom into a character, and as it's going, they'll swap the, like, smaller frame in with a more detailed frame. And it'll just look like one moment of a crossfade in between. And then it'll look good. Why not? Why do do this? I don't know. Okay, then we get into our hyper melodramatic self-sacrifice speech from Felicia plus Yuri undertones. At which point, Kureha sort of picks up on what's going on, and I think pulls a fourth wall break. No? I thought she did. Maybe it's later. Oh well. And Felicia falls. Live on without me. She full on crying. And then, yeah, okay, so again, the same gag with, like, the dramatic thing. And then it's just squirt, squirt. Squirt, squirt, squirt. It's just super, super goofy and super lame. Oh, yeah, this is where Kureha does a full fourth wall break. I guess that's acceptable because it's an OVA. Makes sense. Out of ammo. Bad choo-choo. And then more overdramatic deaths. I had more things to accomplish in my life. I'm too young to... Nice. These are fun. I just think they're fun. The whole concept of this episode as like a goofy gag to watch our characters at quote-unquote war, it's wonderful. It's just like the Mafia segment, except kind of better. Because it's awesome. I am the last one. And she picks up her squirt gun. I love this. That we like enter the location, that we do the full classic into the depths of despair with the hearts and spirits of our fallen comrades to guide us and give us strength situation going on here. This whole episode is just layered with so many cliches, but in an understandable and like they know what they're doing way, where you can... I guess what I'd say is, like, cliches are tools, and they can be very effective tools. However, if good writing is like a surgical scalpel, super good at concise, fine detail. And if like good characterization is like a ball peen hammer used to shape the metal of your characters into intricate patterns that make lots of sense, then cliches are a gigantic cudgel with like nails rammed into it everywhere. It'll beat the shit out of whatever you hit with it, but it's not gonna leave it looking pretty. Cliches are bludgeons. They're big, thunky tools. But if you can use a big, thunky tool in the right context, it works great. If you really gotta bash something, it works great. And one of those places is humor, because humor can be very bashy. And this episode does that really well. It utilizes so many beautiful cliches and tropes and things to make this whole event feel as silly as it is. And that's really great. I think that's great. Okay, I'll keep you both in my heart. Yes, indeed. Carrying her weapon. There's also like the reverence with which the camera rests upon their weaponry, their squirt guns, as though they're like real weapons. The way that these shots are put together, the way that these sequences are composed is right on the money for seriousness, even though the context gives us the humor and the melodrama from it. It's great. Yeah, we explained the whole thing. You would really have sacrificed them just to keep this secret? Oh, yes, but you too are, we're not so different, you and I, right? And you're still pointing that gun at me. At which point, Kureha just steps in to be like, the fuck are you doing? And then bounce again, which is another fun little gag thing. I really thought you'd make a good partner. I guess it comes to this. Wah, wah, wah. And then, of course, Kureha's expression gives us our humor for this instance. They're completely serious. The one shot, one kill. Kureha's just like, what the fuck? This is so stupid. Okay, and then we maneuver on into bath time and explanations and stuff. Service, side boobs, and boobs. Yep, cool, whatever. Yumina in a, Yukata, I couldn't think of the name of that for a second, is very cute. That bird is way too drunk, and that's fun. Okay, all the girls in their shifts, okay. And then we get really drunk, and it gets even worse. Move forward, move forward, move forward. We all drink together. It's very cute. It's over the top, and then it gets really crazy, and I don't know what to think about that, but that's all right. Lecture the owl, and poor Kureha just can't get drunk. Which is probably a good thing in general. At least there will be a record for the future. Thank goodness, because otherwise we wouldn't have the episode. Yeah, and then cleavage and savesu and skin chippu and all that stuff, right? Yeah, okay. Nothing weird about that. Nothing. I don't find any part of this episode's content truly distasteful or anything. It's just a little goofy, a little funny. And that's perfectly okay, especially after last week's horror, death, war, murder, death, blood, you know? Okay. Well, this has been an episode of Saranawata. I really like this episode. I do. I really like this episode. I found this one utterly hilarious. I'm sure it doesn't have a lot of rewatch value. It loses a lot of its luster once you've already, like, you know, the jokes that are coming. Still, this is a really fun one. I don't think there's anything that I need to glean from, like, specula or anything. Just a fun episode that's a well put together 25 minutes of solid humoriness and character interactions with a bit of fan service mixed in. Not the greatest animation, but enough to be good. And more time spent with our characters doing fun things. That's pretty cool to me. I approve. Okay, that's it. I'm going to wrap there. Me, Teeaboo. This Saranawata, episode 7.5. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week when we're back to what I assume is the normal lineup, and we'll be watching episode 8 and onward into the future. So I'll see you there. Cool? Cool. Peace.